Okay, welcome back to the same room, a space where hope is incubated, fears are starved, and healing begins. Here, we dive deep into the hearts of families and society, uncovering the truth that brings us closer, healthier, and happier. No matter where you have been, no matter what you have been through, this is the place we come together to heal, to grow, and to thrive. So take a seat, open your heart, and let's build a stronger and a more connected society, one conversation at a time. So welcome. And feel free. And thank you to everyone of you who is making their time. I'm always creating time to be here in the same room. We are here to starve our fears, to feed our hopes, and to become more healed and to become better versions of ourselves. Leo na siku zote nafahamika kama Ruth Ngatia. And so guys, before we carry on with today's conversation, a very interesting conversation, I would like to introduce our guest today. I would like our guest today to introduce themselves. Tuanze hapo.
Hi, my name is Wema Lukandu Oredo. I am a child of God and I love God. I also consider myself a very vibrant would depend with what you see, or rather where we are. But I consider myself very, very vibrant and very that word in English.
Unajituma sana.
Yeah. So what I do, I am a communication enthusiast, media enthusiast, and I'm also an author. I am a singer, songwriter, and I am a discipler. I love people. I love cooking. I love baking. I love hosting. Everything that deals with people, I love it so much. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me, Ruth.
And thank you for creating time to be here to make this conversation to be a conversation that is supposed to help me and you, a conversation that is also meant to help our viewers and to help them get to where they think they desire to be. So, Saj.
Hi, everyone. My name is Saj Oredo. Happy to be here. I can say I have a lot of titles, but let me start with one. I am a service producer or an event producer as well, an author, designer, and that is both graphics and web apps and mobile apps as well. I'm also a dancer, a drummer, an actor. I love sports, especially running, not at night, but during the day, marathons to be specific. And what I love drinking is water and swimming a bit. And I love eating. She cooks very good food. So when she says she hosts, you're welcome.
Unasema wewe unanga shida na njaa. You're always fully equipped for that.
Nimeongeza weight. Actually, several kgs. Not one, several.
So, thank you guys for creating time to be here and making this and I hope you're going to have a very interesting and a very interesting conversation that is going to be niseme interactional kama kuna jina kama hiyo, that you're going to interact with our viewers as well. And before we introduce our topic of discussion, prior to this, guys, we had a discussion on if they think marriages and relationships are being idolized in our society today, and what remained a constant in that conversation, in that discussion. Tumesema we are here to have conversations that are supposed to help us create a world that is stronger and more connected. What was a constant there is the term purpose. So our discussion today, our conversation today will be wholly based on, is my partner linked to my purpose? Is my partner connected to my purpose? Because I personally believe people don't just come together. Even here, we did not just come together. We had a purpose. We had an intention of being here. You see? So to start with, let me say this in relation to if someone's partner is connected to their purpose, if someone's partner is linked to their purpose. I personally believe that someone's choice of relationship partner is their main source of success, failure, joy, misery, tranquility, or even worry. That is your main source of that. And so Will Smith once said that the place you stay is just as important in the trajectory of life as the partner you choose. What are you trying to say? That the partner you choose, the person you choose to be your life partner, the person you choose to be your companion in this life, they really matter. Why? Because they even determine how far you're going to go. They even determine the direction, the trajectory your life is going to take. So I do not believe that someone choosing a partner is something that people should just take lightly. Umepatana na mtu huko nje, mejuana mara mbili tatu hivi, you're married. You do not even know what this person wants. You do not even know what they desire. That is why I'm saying, and that is why I loved for us to talk about if your partner is connected, is linked to your purpose. And so to start with, how did you two meet? How was it?
How did we meet? Do you want to say how we met?
Kwani ilikuwa mbaya juu nacheka?
We met in church.
At the pulpit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we met not necessarily at the pulpit. At the pulpit is where you noticed me, but we met in church. And at that time, I think I'd gone to the church we go currently. I've gone to that church. I was the new person. He was there for a while. And when I joined the worship team, I found him there because he said he's a drummer, he's a dancer. He was part of the worship team, the youth worship team at the time. So I joined them, and he was amongst the people who made my life comfortable as a new person, because I am introverted, and so I take some time to warm up to people. He was one of the people who made my life quite comfortable. And then from there we started having conversations here and there. Slowly by slowly it started becoming dates. Slowly by slowly I didn't know what dates were, what they were, or what they were up to. But then at some point, we became good friends. We became friends for a while. I think 2 years before now we started dating officially. Yeah.
Hebu sema unakaa kuchachisha.
I was playing drums. She was singing.
So what he's saying is how he noticed me. Okay,
we had met, we had talked, but it wasn't from a relationship point until that day she was singing Soul Say Yes.
Your soul said yes.
So I connected. I was in spirit. I was praying and watching. So don't take me wrong. I was praying and watching. Yeah, that's how we met. I was not the kind of person who will take her out with a suit and a Bible. We went to a cool restaurant. Just cool, not extravagant, basic, but majorly not just basic. It was standardized.
Yeah.
And we talked. My actions spoke louder than my words. So I wasn't into, I like your smile. I was not that kind of person. I was more real. Like my actions spoke louder than my words. So she was more of, why isn't he speaking, but his action is more. So after noticing her, I now became more close, good friends. You remember I talked about praying for God to keep her, bring her, reveal her. Yeah, so it was those moments.
Eventually, God revealed her to you.
And when I opened that eye, I was like, okay, God has shown me she's the one. So now it's not trisex, she's the one. Actually, I told her, I don't want to do trisex because I've never dated. She's my first date, first love. No?
Unafanya hivyo. No, let me ask her. Umesema God revealed to you that she is the one. Now, let me ask a question that is outside what we are talking about. When it comes to someone knowing that their partner is the one, who is supposed to tell the other, Mungu aliniambia ni wewe. Ama is it the guy? Ama is it the woman? Ama is it both?
According to me, personally, let me tell you this. I never told her God spoke to me and told me that you are the one. Up to date. What I did is I just asked God, the lady who will do A, B, C, D, it is the one.
What's that?
So there is a specific action. I've gone out with dates with different ladies, but not at an expense of wanting to get them as my girlfriend or as my wife, because while going out, the idea was just knowing this person. When you go out on a date, it's not a point of the first date. You're like, I want you, I want everything to do with you. Let's get married or let's start relationship. First, just go know this person. Who is she? What is she doing with her life? Where is she seeing her life in 5 years? How is he connected business? How is her family? Many times we go out on dates and we are like, you want to just hop, step, and jump to the next level. So know this other person, know her better before you go to the next step. So for me, it was the person who will stir my cup of tea on a date. Chai may come and make us curry. So she really did that, and I was like, okay. She didn't know what she was doing, but for me, it was a sign. Yeah.
So, Wema, how did you know that the two of you were meant to be? You were meant to do life together. How did you know?
Now, for purposes of context, he says he's not been in a relationship. I have been in before him. I've had other relationships before, and for me, the thing that stood out for now this relationship is it came with a lot of peace. So that is just my response to how I knew that we were meant to do life together. It came with a lot of peace, but also if we have to be more practical, I think when first of all, we also were good friends. I don't think the people I've dated, we've been friends with them before. So we were good friends with him. So that's the practicality of it. We were good friends, very good friends. And then also I noticed that we had our conversations always, like there's always something that just sparked conversations between the two of us, which still happens till date. And we almost clicked. Even if we were in disagreement, we still had a way of just coming back to alignment together. And then I realized that there's something about him and his vision that just got me very much attracted to him. Yeah.
I love the vision part, and we are going to come and talk about that. So, to start with, you, Wema, do you think, if you are not married to Sirge, do you think right now you would be doing what you do, or you would be pursuing what you do? You guys told me you have some training things that you do. Do you think that you'd be doing what you're doing today? But do you think you'd still be pursuing what you're pursuing today if you were not married to him?
As an individual?
Yes. No, if you are not married to him, would you be doing what you're doing right now? Or would you be pursuing what you pursue in life?
I think many of the things I am doing, Sirge found me doing them. So, would I be still doing them? Yes, I would still be doing them. I would still be singing. Probably would not author a book together because I wouldn't be with him. But I would still be singing. I would still be baking. I would still be, I would still, many of the things many of the things I'm doing, he found me doing, we are doing them together. Yeah, so I would still do part of the things I'm doing, maybe not all of them, but part of the things I'm doing, I would still do them. Yeah.
Sirge, what do you say about that?
For me, I'll just add this statement. Purpose finds you serving.
Good.
When you're serving, you're doing something, there is a lot of responsibility that comes on your hand, from top tier, even from bottom. So for me, I can say the same way. I'm doing what I was doing and even more, because one of my lines was, "With this English of yours, we must write a book." It was like a joke. And after our first year of marriage, we are like, we have already authored 3 books, actually 4. The 4th one is on the way. So we are like, wait, if I was alone, we wouldn't have done that, because for English, she is the communication enthusiast. Me, I write codes. Code and English are 2 different languages. Ones and zeros. For her, it's more of English written this way, that corrected this way. So at least we are in the same path, because of meeting each other. Whatever we were doing actually increased.
Yeah.
Whatever we were doing increased. We are not doing it with the same manner we were doing it. We are doing it from a point of excellence, from a point of knowing what we are doing. Yeah. So if we had not met, I'll just be doing things the way I was doing. But the fact that we have met, we've increased our capacity and excellence in doing what we are doing.
And for the fact that you have said what you are doing has become even better with a lot of excellence, how do you support each other?
Okay. So when we began, you said what you said about purpose fancy serving. We clarified that all of us had, before we got married, we had everyone had their bit of life going on, their own purpose, things, ministry, talent, So how we support each other is in many forms. Support for us means I'm praying with him, he's praying with me, he's praying over me, we are praying together. Support also means, number 2, that I'm available to unpack the things he's going through. He said he's more of codes, I am more of the words. So when we are either working on a project together, I am the one who tends to bring out the details. He gets to do the behind the scenes, the graphics, the whatever, everything. So most of our projects are usually very tied together. So you'd literally find us everywhere together. I'm in the front end, he's on the back end. So that's also how we support each other. What else do we do, babe?
We support each other that way, because I can't say there is a specific way he's doing something that I'm not doing. So if the way the front end and back end in code language is totally different. So the same way she's saying this is that when she's at the front of an event or the face of an event, I'm behind the logistics, I'm behind all this. When I'm also having seminars and all this, she helps in, like, we are interconnected, interdependent. We are not like I'll support you, ni kudrop alafu niende. Yeah, we are not that way. So it's, if she's whatever she's doing, I'm in fully whatever she's doing from all aspects. And
we
the
are
fact
literally
that
the business of each other.
The fact that I'm the slowest person, so I do a lot of pre-planning, that so as that the execution is easy, and that's where we achieve the excellence in everything that we do. Yeah.
And then for the fact that umesema that the two of you, the things that you do are intertwined, there are couples that whatever they do, they're not intertwined, or even unapata ya kwamba they do the same thing. But then again, here comes the issue. How do you support each other when the vision, ukiangalia vision uko it's not, let me say, like,
it's not giving.
It's not giving. How do you support such a partner? Ama ukiangalia, it's a good thing, but at some point, let me say this for lack of a better word, it's not reasonable. Because unashanga, how will you do things with what we have in front of us? So how can someone support their partner, especially if the vision is unthinkable? Or am I saying so? Unapata ya kwamba a lot of ladies, we do not have the patience of waiting, because I know what you are saying is possible, but
There's a but.
Unaona, your speed and your pace and the way you are doing of things is not giving at all.
Yeah.
So, and I personally believe as long as you have that vision, you are watering it. It's just a matter of time. But ladies, you do not have that patience of waiting and saying, let me support that vision. Or what can you say about that?
That is a good question, because yes, while it's true, right now we see many couples who are doing things together. We see them in their space, in each other's spaces. So it almost feels like you have to do the same thing. All of you have to do the same thing. But I don't think that's the case. I believe that there are people who probably they're pursuing very different things, but it doesn't mean that they cannot support each other. It doesn't mean they cannot work together in that line. So for me, I think how you can support your partner if your visions are very different, because I believe even in the different visions, there's still something that will still bring you together at some point. There's something that you will have a connected vision as a family. So, like I said, support doesn't mean you have to be in my space. For us, it means so because what we do is almost the same. So for what I do at the front end, he will do at the back end. For what he does at the back end, I'll have to do something at the front end, or somewhere in the middle. I have to just be somewhere. For us, that is what it means. It calls for wisdom for each spouse to ask God to help you to understand, in this setting, how will I support my spouse? Take, for example, maybe your spouse is doing a business launch and you are not a business person. Maybe you are in full-time ministry. Yeah. So what you do is you pray for them, number one. Number two, if you can finance them, you finance them. It's just the same way we usually support the vision of the church. Not all of us are usually in the front end. Like, there has to be someone who's praying. There are people who are back there at the logistics end. They're helping the visionaries to bring life. They will hire the lights for you. They will hire the equipment. Someone will just be there. Their work is to finance. They do not even want to be seen anywhere close to that vision, but they are financing it. That's still supporting. So for me, I think supporting does not necessarily mean you have to be in my space. If it's a setting that you can be in the same space, well and good. But if it doesn't have to be, just support them. Come, show up. If someone inside the website is saying drop her and maybe go back to whatever you need to do. When they're done, come back and pick them. Just ensure that they're okay. Talk to their logistics team. Find out, okay, how are they doing? Is everything going on well? That is support. Support doesn't really have to be 100% physically be there. But if you have a chance to be there,
please
be there. Yeah.
When you say unthinkable, it means it's something beyond the two of you.
It not necessarily, but it's because maybe, let me say, maybe the partner does not trust the vision. You see, like I can't trust it, and ndio maana nasema as ladies, you don't have the patience of allowing that man get to that point yenye anaamini ya kwamba I'll get there, because he knows what to do, especially if people are into different fields. And like the two of you, mnajua, for us to do this, you can get there. But if you see, if someone and their partner are in different fields, I know the strategies to get there. They might not know the strategies to use to get there. So at some point, they might not trust the process. Unaona? And ndio nasema, so long as you got the patterns and the process right, it's just a matter of time. And it is another thing to have a plant and you're not watering it. So here, maybe I'm watering the plant, but you can't see the fruit, because it's another thing to have the plant that you're not watering. And it's another thing to not have the plant. This person has a plant. I'm watering it, but they just don't have that patience of waiting for that plant to grow, because I do not believe that you're going to plant a plant today and it is going to grow today and produce the fruits today. That is my perspective.
Can I speak to the ladies?
Yeah.
So for me, when I met my husband, when we began having conversations and dates, this man would give me very crazy and drastic ideas. You see, when I told you there's a part of me was very attracted to his vision. Now that vision was very drastic and very crazy. He would explain to me the things he wants to do, and in all honesty, you wouldn't see it. Like ukiangalia hivi sahi, you're just wondering, okay, wow, this is a dream. Because in all honesty, this is, I'm not seeing where it's going to happen and how it's going to happen even sooner. But one thing I did, and I think the Holy Spirit helped me to do, because I think I came to learn about it later when now we started dating. I believed in his vision. You see, when he's saying, he told me that we'll use your English to write books. I didn't see it. I actually came to, when we were completing our process of authoring the books, I actually reminded him, do you remember one day you told me we'd write books? And I was like, I didn't know it would be in our first year of marriage. Like, that was too soon for me. Yet when he was telling me that, it sounded like it's a joke. So I mean, I really want to encourage ladies, please, if your man is telling you, is giving you a vision, and he will clearly, when you see it, you look like he's crazy, just trust his craziness. So long as what he said, I love what he said, you water the plant. So long as he's putting effort into it, you can see his, maybe let's say he's talking about what do I say, production, and you can see maybe he has a small guy, he has just a tripod and a camera, and he's doing something. That is someone who's in the process of achieving the vision that he wants. But if it's someone he just has a vision, what's the plan to the vision probably doesn't have, you could also seek wisdom from God to help you see how you can help him to start actualizing it. Because sometimes people have the vision, they just don't have the people who can help them bring it to manifestation. So yeah, so that's what I can say. In addition to what I said earlier, there's a part of a couple who do not share the same vision, that they can support them in the previous way we talked about. But then if it's for ladies who you literally do not, it's unthinkable, like you say, you don't understand what the person is saying, please trust them and trust the process. Everything takes time.
It's just a matter of time.
She has said everything. Only to add to the men, don't have double standard. Live straight. Don't have the issue of you're trying here, you're trying there. Utabant. So live straight. For me, something I even did. The Bible says, put them down. Write them down, your vision, and it will come to accomplish. I remember I wrote him an email in January 2023 and sent it to be delivered in April or May? April 2023. 2024. Yeah. I wrote it in January 2023. It was delivered in April 2024. And by July, everything I had written, it was surpassed. So have the vision, believe in God, trust God, and run with it. Don't usikule msewa, let me try here, I'll try here. The reason I was saying, if it unthinkable is beyond you, it's a good thing. If it is just something that is just there, then it is not. But one thing I always say, trust the process. It's going to happen, and that way you'll get where you want to go. And believe in yourself, have the potential. Don't wait for motivation to come, because even if you're motivated, how much? A horse can be motivated, but it cannot fly. It will just run faster. So whether you are motivated or not, motivate yourself. Motivate yourself and start moving, and be hardworking. Don't lazy around. Don't lazy around. Relationship needs work. Marriage needs even more work. So it's not a walk in the park. Yeah, no amount of motivation can make a horse fly. So motivate yourself, keep moving, and work hard. Everything will come in.
And so, in situations whereby there is a plant, the person is not watering the plant, and also in the situation whereby there is no plant at all, lakini uko tu, is that reason enough to leave someone in a relationship? Because I believe there are also people in marriages who do not have anything to water, wako tu. Is that reason enough to leave someone? And leaving someone, even in the case of a marriage, as much as marriage is a long-term commitment.
Let me start. Your reason for leaving is not having the vision or all that.
The reason as to why, let me go back a little bit. The reason as to why a lady ama most ladies will choose to leave is because number one, vile tu tumesema, the vision is unthinkable. Number two, you have the vision but you're not watering it.
As a man.
Yes. And even ladies, the ladies who are left because uko tu una kitu ya kufanya. And let me say, tumesema it's one thing to have a vision and water it. It's another. It's one thing to have a plant and water it. It's another thing to have a plant and not water it. And it's also another thing to not have a
Anything
plant,
at all.
anything. You have nothing. So in a situation whereby there's a plant, you are not watering it. Is that reason enough to leave someone? Why? Because if you're not growing, you're dying.
Now, two cases. If it's in case of a marriage, I would not advocate for that person, for whoever is supposed to leave. I think I'll just encourage them to find, if they have a plant and the plant is not being watered. You see, there's a way I could see Saj having a plant, or Saj could see my plant, and clearly I'm not taking good care of this plant. You could take care of that plant for me. And then later on, maybe you can get back in line in the process. Yeah, so you could also just take part. That's also support. Find ways in which you can support this person to water this plant, or rather bring this vision to life. In the case of marriage, in the case of a relationship, you could also find, if there's someone, if in a relationship now you're not married, if this person is willing to be helped, please find ways in which you can either send them to someone who you think, if they send them to Ruth, they will take everything that Ruth said seriously. Because sometimes we also want to force ourselves, even in marriage. If you feel like your spouse would not listen to you, there's always someone they listen to, their mother, their father, or maybe one of their mentors. There's just someone who, when they say stop, they will stop. So, or do this, they will do. So you refer them to that person, because if that person can give them that knowledge, then why would you go through the hassle of leaving this plant to die? Yet there's a resource you can use in a person to bring this thing to life. In the case of a relationship, again, where there is no vision, when there is no vision and there's nothing at all in the case of a relationship, I honestly, I want to encourage that person to just move out. Because then what are you doing? You're literally going to a place where there's nothing. But if you're married, please the two of you find something. Find your way out. Yeah. Just go back to the drawing board. I'm sure there's something you started talking about somewhere. So go back to the drawing board, find something. Even if you start small. Like everything always, of course, has to start small. But I'm just trying to say, even if it's the smallest of things, just find a way to start something. If it's a relationship, you people need to sit down and think.
Choose.
Yeah.
We are living in a society whereby any inconvenience, even in marriages, unapata, the moment I can see you're not even pushing yourself, I've not even taken time to talk to you, nikulize, what's happening? You know what, guy, bye. Because what do you mean that wewe umekaa tu? You see, and that is the problem that we have. And I love the fact that you are speaking about willingness. The fact that I can talk to someone, you can talk to your spouse, and they have the capacity to listen. Because maybe there's a very high possibility that I had you on a drown. But because you are there, you can see that this person is not taking the right direction. And then another thing that you're spoken about is the aspect of you believing that my partner might not listen to me, but they will listen to that person. Now, that is bringing a third wheel, which is okay, but in some situations is not okay. Why am I saying so? And I would like you to address this. Unapata, there are situations where by the moment you involve the third party, things even become worse. Because there's a very high possibility they'll start thinking you're not doing anything about it. Where you sit down and the other person is the one who's pumping into and making sure that this thing work. So I would like you to address, even if I'm supposed to involve that party? What am I supposed to consider? Yeah.
Allow me to interject and say this. Well, let me take you back. While you were born, someone held your hand and told you ta 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 ta. You started walking, right? After that, you started running. After that, you felt so independent, right? In every area of life, you need that person to hold you accountable. If no one is holding you accountable, then you're not thriving.
Nice.
Then you need some, at any point of life, in business aspect, even if you come into this business, in this media space, I'm fresh from school. I know everything. But when I come to this setting, I know I need to be directed on how things work in this setup. In business, in relationship, in families, different ways, different things. So as a person, whatever you're doing, you're not the first person to do that. You're not the first person. So the idea is you're not calling the third party to come on board, but what you're doing, you're just getting guidance to really grow, to really move. You know that point that you really want to do business and you're like, I need to get capital here and here. I need to import goods from China, Alibaba, this and that, and Dubai. Even if I wake up today and go to China and come back, I will not have imported because I need someone who has been doing that business to help me go there and come. So the idea is not about bringing that party. The idea is you don't have any water, you don't water any plant. So the idea is making sure that there is something someone can help you achieve. So with that small idea you have, put it down, start working on it. So it's not about
It's not like it's reporting.
You are reporting, because at the end of the day, the ultimate goal is to see the vision come to life.
For sure.
Everything starts from idea. Even this whole screen that you have in your house, even this whole building, it started from idea. It was sketched down. Then they said, you see, this space is enough. Let's now start building. Then the guys came in board and made. Actually, your vision is not actually yours. Let me shock you. Your vision is not yours. Your vision is to make God's people succeed. Let me give this a small scenario. We all take breakfast, right?
For sure.
We all take breakfast. Chai, mkate. That's a simple example. If the baker did not go to the bakery yesterday night, there will not be bread in the morning for the driver to come and deliver it to the nearest shop near you. If the baker went and the driver did not go to work, you will not get the bread in the nearest shop before you. So the idea is your vision is to make others succeed. So if the driver is not going to the bakery to pick the bread, to bring it to the nearest shop before you, the bakery owner will not have any business doing, because we are all making sure others are succeeding. The bakery is made for the bread to be eaten by others, not him. So your vision is to make sure other people are succeeding. If your vision is just about you and me, myself and I alone, then you're in the wrong field. You're in the wrong field.
Okay, the reason as to why I've brought about a third party and saying there are people who will take it right, there are people who will not take that rightly, is because unapata, there are people who will think, after talking, and I think this happens to both man and woman, when you talk too much, when you do something repeatedly so much and you're not listening to what I'm telling you, I'll get to a point where I'll get tired and I'll not talk to you anymore. So what I'm going to do, I will tell myself, let me go and tell a particular person to come and talk to, because I know for sure these people will, when that particular person talks to you, you will listen. But then again, is your partner mature enough to take that as help?
Now that's upon the individual to figure out. Because there are people who, I agree, who might not be mature enough to understand that we go to this place because this person wants to help me. When we're doing counseling, we are usually told, do not assume the worst in your spouse. but believe the best in them. So anything they do, believe that they had your best interest at heart. Don't start assuming, so they're just going to report me. Her point is just to report me. She just wants to expose me to that other person. Now, the second thing, if that person, I feel like if that person is not mature enough to understand, it calls for wisdom for now you to talk to them. Because this other third party is definitely someone the both of you look up to. Or even if it's not the both of you, like what I said earlier, it's someone you know has an authority over their life. So by the time I'm coming to say, Ruth, I need you to talk to Saj, you already know who Saj is. You know his weaknesses, you know his strengths, you know everything. So this third party would know the best way to approach this issue, either with the two of you, or you just call him alone aside. Most of the people call one of the spouse aside. So you'd never know someone reported you. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Because I think as much as these things look simple, they are not simple.
They are not simple.
As like the way we can just take a cup of water.
No.
You see? So tukimaliza, when choosing a life partner, now maybe you can give us in terms of yourself, because you are in marriage, what are some of the first factors to consider? Because I personally believe when you are choosing a life partner, do not get at any one point of betraying who you are, betraying yourself. And I believe there are so many factors that you are going to help us learn, or maybe the two of you took into consideration before getting into marriage. What are some of the factors to consider?
You speak to men.
I'll speak to men. For the men, I want you to just consider these two factors. Yesterday, before I give the two factors, yesterday there was somebody, let me just give you these two factors. Look at the mind that is willing to grow, learn, and expand. And look at the hands that are willing to work on what the mind has given it to grow, work, and expand.
Hey.
Wow, that is so profound.
I repeat.
Yes.
Look at a lady who has the mind that can learn and grow and expand, and has the hands that can make whatever is in the mind be transformed, whatever it has been learned, to grow and expand as well. So don't just look at the looks, whatever, tabia and all this. If the mind is able to learn, she's able to learn a lot. You're able to teach. And one thing I know, you cannot teach if you cannot sit down and be taught. So have all that in mind. So if you're able to just sit down, be taught, then you'll be able to teach others. Because the Bible says, yes, teach others what you've seen me doing. So you cannot be able to just get someone and do something you've not seen it happening. Because there is someone who taught you, there is someone who you can teach, be able to be teachable as a man, be able to just unlearn things you know, and you'll be good. So looking for the ladies, you can look at the looks. May looked at the looks and they were good. At the end of the day, after 70 years, 90, if we celebrate our 90 years anniversary, I'm really looking forward to that, celebrating our 90 years anniversary. The looks will not be the same, but the person will remain the same. So if you have been able to use what was in the mind and expanded it with the hands, then you'll be good to go. Yeah.
Wema, what do you say?
I love to tell ladies, many of the ladies I work with, I tell them, I pray that you find a man that will worship the ground you walk on. Yeah. So what that means is that this man would selflessly love you. Yeah. So factors that our ladies should consider, for me, number one is someone who loves God deeply. Like they have a relationship with God.
Personal relationship
with God. Now, I have come to realize, when I got to the marriage setting, I realized it's one thing to say, to confess that you are saved and you have a relationship with God. And then it's another thing to actually live like you have a relationship with God. So what am I trying to say? There are people, and I think I've also heard Joshua Selman talk about this a lot. There is a man who is they are very dedicated in church. They're doing every business of the church, but they still have things they are carrying on. Maybe they still have traditional beliefs they still carry that do not glorify God. Maybe they still have, like, there's some two aspects of their life. You look at it and you're like, hey, this one is not glorifying God in any way. So do not just go beyond the surface level of I am a born again Christian, I love the Lord as my personal savior and all that stuff. Be very keen and ask God to show you that this person is truly having a relationship with God. I think for me that's the leading. Every other thing comes with time. Money comes with time. Whatever thing that we all want, these personal selfish things, they usually come with time, and they come when now the two of you have decided we are going to grow together. But also be very careful to see green flags. Green flags are now the things I'm saying. A man who would worship the ground you walk on. This person has to love you. If they can't love you, even when you're single, like when you're dating, be sure they won't love you when you get married.
When you get married.
So bottom line is love. Love means a lot of things to ladies. So figure out what love means to you. Is it being affirmed? Is it being there for you? Is it your attention? Is it, just figure out what love means. And then, of course, don't exaggerate it to be selfish to the point that now you'll make another person uncomfortable, but just be very accommodative. But also another thing is for us to ensure that we are also the right people for our spouse, for our future spouse. Because what we do, we are usually very selfish. I want. You, what are you doing to become that person? So yeah.
Nice. Personally, I came up. I think that when thinking about a partner to choose, when choosing a partner, I personally believe you get to be you, because you can't just plug into someone's purpose. You can't just plug into someone's vision. Like, ulikuwa tu, and you know what? Because this one, let me just plug in. You can't do that. But do get to be you. That you do not have to be different versions of yourself when you are with your significant other. And then I think the worst thing that you can do is when you have spent years being part of something, years being in that relationship, years being in that marriage, part of something, but you have nothing. You have nothing to show. You have nothing to offer, just because you couldn't be you when you were in that partnership. So you have spent years being part of something, yet you feel lost. You feel lost in that marriage. You feel lost in that relationship. What is going to happen at the end of it all? It's not going to work out. Just because you did not allow, you did not even take time to be yourself. You see? That is what I think. And then I think we have come to an end, so you can just give people your last remark on what you think or even what you feel concerning our topic of discussion today of if my partner is linked or if my partner is connected to my purpose.
Okay, so I think for me, I would speak to the ladies. I could also speak to the men, but let me speak to the ladies. First things first is when we talked about the Worth the Wait community, we love to encourage ladies to ensure that they are building themselves, equipping themselves. There's a point at the previous episode we talked about women being empowered, but we are usually empowered in many other things. And I feel like the aspect of building and equipping yourself is something that is usually left out. Because when it comes to being married or in the aspect of relationships, you start realizing many gaps in the lives of ladies and of men. So my point is, be empowered in the sense that you are fully equipped to know who you are, and you represent who you are in Christ, and also to be self-aware and just work in self-awareness in your life, in your relationship, and even in the relationship that God has blessed you with. Number one, that will help you to be a very impactful spouse to your future spouse. Number two, be very careful to not idolize the fact that all you want is a relationship. There are many things you could do in your single state. Love the people God has blessed you with. Love your friends, love your family, love your siblings. God has given you a community for you to love. Love those people and enjoy that space in the time that God has given you. Number three, you can pursue your wholeness and you can pursue your purpose even when you're single. So that means that by the time your spouse is coming or when your spouse is meeting you, they come to help you in also achieving that purpose. They're not coming to help you find the purpose. So first off, please ensure that you know what your purpose is on earth and what God has called you to do on this earth, so that will give you fulfillment and completeness. The last and the most important thing is that your fulfillment and your happiness is not tied to a man. It's only in God, and it's only you who can make yourself happy. There's nobody who comes to. There's nobody who has a package of happiness to give you. It's in you and it's in God. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So you spoke to the ladies.
You
Males
spoke to women.
generally add these 2 points. Women are really empowered these days, not like the olden days. And in as much as we try to abolish tradition and all these other things, I'll just tell you this. As a man, keep on learning, keep on growing. I always tell myself, if it is to be, it is up to me. So you don't wait for someone else to come and do what you really ought to be doing. So it's up to you to do what you need to do to just to be where you wanna be. Yeah. Don't 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 just sit there. Believe in God, have good relationship with Him, pray, have a personal relationship. With a personal relationship with God, talk to God like a friend. You can say, I know the president, or I know my bishop, or I know so and so, but you don't have a personal relationship with them. So I'll encourage you, have a closer proximity whereby you talk to God, have Bible reading challenges, read the word, draw close to God. Because with our own strength, Wongo, you can't make it. You will never make it. Yeah, with your own strength, it's impossible. But with God, everything is possible. So create a good relationship with God as a man, because you're going to lead others. And with that, your life will never remain the same. And if you're not born again and you want to really give your life to Christ, you don't need a lot of time. You can even give your life to Christ right now, and your life will never remain the same. Yeah.
And thank you very much, Wema and Saj, for creating time to be in the same room. Tumesema we are here to feed our hopes, incubate our hopes, to stop these fears and to heal from the things that we have seen, from the things that we have experienced. And tunasema it does not matter where you have been, what you have gone through, because this is a space that you have created for us to heal, to grow, and to thrive, so that we can have conversations that are going to make us as a society to come closer to each other, to be more happier, and to be more healthier. So guys, asante sana for being here in the same room, and thank you so much for plugging in. And please remember to subscribe and turn on that notification bell, so that whenever we have a new series, you will be plugged in for sure.